It's almost the end of January, and you know what that means? January reading wrap up. Alright, let's get into it. It was not a very good month for me. I only gave one book 5 stars. Things like that make me never want to read again. Book number 1 was Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. The main guy, he is a single dad, which I love. He has 2 kids and he needs a nanny for the summer. And of course, the main girl in the book, needs a job because she just left her husband at the altar. And so she needs a job. She goes to this small town she doesn't know, and they meet, and the end is history. She becomes their nanny. I gave this book 3 stars, unfortunately. Something about it just didn't hit for me. In my review, I said it felt like this book was written in a week, and that is literally what it felt like. Like, the characters just did not seem real. Like, it felt like I was reading a book, not watching a movie in my head, engrossed in this amazing piece of paper. Like, like whenever you read a really good book and you don't realize you're reading. I did not feel like this with this book. I was just like, okay, does that make sense? I don't know. And I felt like the characters fell in love way too fast. Like, I remember the main girl, I don't even remember her name. That's how much this book did not have an effect on me. It was like her first day of meeting the main male character, and the guy was like, I don't want her to be the kid's nanny. I don't like her. I don't need her around. And then, like, either that night of meeting her or the next day, they start making out. And then after that, he's like, I can't get her out of my mind. I like an insta love every once in a while. But this just felt, I don't know, it was weird, but like kind of entertaining, kind of, but like, I don't know. Do I recommend it? Not really. There's so many better books that are single dads than this, so I don't really recommend it. Number 2, The Ritual by Chantel Tessier. As you can see, I did not get far in this book. I DNF'd at like 20%, I think it said on my Goodreads. If you've watched my video about the books I've hated the most, you know about this book. But if not, let me just give you a little rundown. So in this book, there's like a frat at this college, but it's not really a frat. It's like a cult, kind of. And these guys, they want to become a lord. So to become a lord, you have to kill people that you're assigned. Which I like that idea. I've never read something like that. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. I was in a dark romance kind of mood. I was like, why not? And the main guy, don't remember his name, he became a lord when he was a senior. I think that's how it goes for everyone who wants to become a lord. You become a lord when you're a senior. Whenever you become a lord, you get a chosen one. A chosen one is a random girl on campus that is yours. Now you're thinking, who the fuck would want that? Because it's basically like 50 Shades of Grey, like you're signing yourself away to this man. But like this, like, it's just, I don't know, like the whole thing just felt so weird, and like, I don't know. But I was giving it a chance, okay? But then I DNF'd it because, first of all, the writing was horrendous. It felt like a 12-year-old wrote it. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So that was pushing me towards the edge of DNFing it. But I was like, you know what? If the plot is good, maybe I can overlook it. I read fanfics. 2, it was so cringy. Okay, this book is supposed to be so dark and edgy and mysterious. Yet when the main girl, the chosen one, went to the frat house of the lords, they were playing Mad Hatter by Melanie Martinez. What murderer is listening to Mad Hatter at a party? Who would ever do that? And the trigger warning for this book, it did say like consent, non-consent, which I knew that going into it. But there was a scene that I read that wasn't even, like, she did not give her consent to be non-consented. Does that make sense? Like, there was no conversation of her being like, yeah, this is okay for you to do. And it was his point of view. And he kept saying he was doing this one thing to her. And she was like freaking out. And he's like, when will she know that she's mine and this has to happen? And then it went to her point of view on the next chapter. And she was like, no one's ever done that to me and I didn't want him to do it. That's me closing the book and throwing it away. Because what the fuck was that? Please, if you are the author, never write a book again. Please. Get an editor. Like, I rated that 1 star, by the way. Alright, number 3. My 5-star rating. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Oh my god. This book, right when I finished it, I was like, I need to reread it. And then I was like, I also want to read Flawless by Elsie Silver again. Because that's my favorite book in the Chestnut Spring series. It gave that same vibe. Small town country romance. How could I not love this book? It was so good. Basically, Emmy, the main girl, she moved away from her small town to pursue her dream of riding horses competitively. And then something happens, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she moves back to her hometown to visit her brothers and her dad on their farm. And then she finds out that the guy who she hated when she was little, her brother's best friend, he still lives in that town. He works on the farm. He works at a bar in town. He looks a lot more handsome than the last time she's seen him. Oh my god. It was just too good. Like there was a regular romance plot and there was a side plot. It was like perfect. Like it's the bare minimum, but I feel like authors seem to forget that sometimes. And this was I am in the middle of Butcher and Blackbird. Yes, my pin is my bookmark. I was kind of debating on DNFing this though. I'm not anymore because it got entertaining, but like the first 100 pages were just not really giving for me. It felt very flat and like there was no world building. And like I feel like I don't really know the characters even though I'm halfway through it because that's just I don't know, but something exciting happened. So I was like heavy into reading it, but there would just be times where like I wanted to read, but I didn't want to read that. Make sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that bell, that subscription. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment and hit that notification bell so you get notified.